Shalom Yasharala, giving all praise and glory to the most high power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's worthy to be praised for everything. As always, we'll start off with Colossians 3:17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all by H.O.I, H.O.D.C, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by H.O.I, H.O.D.C. So all that we do and say is going to be in the name of the Lord and Savior. And that's how we reach the Most High's throne, in the name of the Lord and Savior. So, and we give thanks to the Most High for everything. You know, the water Most High. You know, that's something when you think about giving the Most High thanks. Thank the Most High and the Father by H.O.I, H.O.D.C. That's for everything. You got to look at the blessings and the times that you're going through whatever you're going through that's negative or that's against you. Thank the Most High. Praise the Most High. Because he could either be chastising us or he could be checking us for whatever we have done wrong, correcting us in his own way, and we paying now. Because it might be a terrible thing to pay later. So you pay now, you pay later. I say it all the time. So he could be paying, you could be paying for what's happening for now. That's why we thank the Most High, praise the Most High. You gotta, and it takes a certain spiritual mindset to be able to thank him and praise him for the negative that happened in your life. You want to point the finger at the devil, but the Most High said, I wound and I heal. He's responsible for everything. Nobody operating without his control. Come on. So I want to look into a topic, I was actually going to a topic, very controversial topic, concerning can a man have more than one wife? The world call it polygamy. So I'm going to start off reading a pamphlet. It's concerning a virtuous woman, first and foremost. And it says, it has at the top, it says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. That's from Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 26:14. So, and it goes on to say, a virtuous woman. Shalom, Akwat, sisters. If at this time your spirit has confirmed that you are in fact a Hebrew Israelite, this is from a sister now, then surely this realization has sparked a host of questions within your being. This handout will therefore prove to be most helpful and informative to you in this regard. It was created especially with you in mind, new sister, with the intention of expectation of assisting you further in your quest for the truth. Its contents are basic. Once a foundation has been laid from this information you have been given, it is then your responsibility to build upon that foundation and develop your own desire to seek the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that only the Most High can bestow upon you through your reading and experiences. The creation of this handout was also intended to inform you that although it was not seen evident in this patriarchal society, a sisterhood does indeed exist. The following is a brief guideline to give you a fundamental feel for the true essence of an Israelite woman. Keep in mind, however, that only a basic outline can be given. It is up to you as you grow on the path of righteousness to acquire your own internalization of what is the epitome of womanhood within the Israelite nation. Womanhood, as you may already understand, is defined by various different means. For example, who you are is reflected in the manner in which you carry yourself by means of dress, demeanor, and how well you take care of business. Your intentions should be in your every endeavor to do what is pleasing to the Most High. And with that in mind, there are specific laws regarding the woman, which are listed as follows. Dress code. Number 1. The Most High established a dress code for Israel to identify and distinguish us from the other nations. There are certain aspects of our way of dress that serve as a constant reminder to Israel of all the Most High's commandments, that we might follow them wholeheartedly. The law specifically states that all Israelites are to wear fringes on the borders of their garments, and that a ribbon of blue is to be placed upon the borders as well. Numbers 15:38-39. Let's read that. Numbers 15:38-39. Numbers 15:38. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Most High, and do them. And that ye seek not after your own heart, which is your mind, and your own eyes, what you can see, after which ye used to go a-whoring, that ye may remember and do all my commandments, and be holy unto the Most High your power. I am the Most High your power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt to be your power. I am the Most High your power. So that's from Numbers 15:38-41. Let's continue. Studs are also a part of our dress. Studs. Song of Solomon 1:11. Song of Solomon 1:11. The first chapter, the 11th verse. Song of Solomon 1:11. We will make thee borders of gold with studs of silver. So you see the studs of silver is what we had also, with the fringes and the ribbon of blue on top of the fringe. However, there are laws concerning our dress code that relate specifically to the woman. For example, scriptures tell us that a woman must adorn herself in modest apparel. 1 Timothy 2:9. 1 Timothy 2:9. First Timothy, the 2nd chapter, the 9th verse. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not getting drunk and being focused, not with braided hair, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Okay? Let's continue. And that she must wear nothing that pertaineth to a man. Deuteronomy 22, Deuteronomy 22nd chapter. And 5. Deuteronomy 22:5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, like pants. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, dresses. For all that do so are an abomination unto the Most High thy power. Okay. Continue. One very important aspect regarding the woman's attire is that of the head covering. The Bible states that a woman's head should be covered whenever she prays or prophesies or is in the presence of Israelite men. 1 Corinthians 11:5. 1 Corinthians 11 and 5. But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head covered dishonoreth her head, for that is even all one as if she was shaven. So one supposed to have her hair covered. It says Genesis 24 and 65. Genesis 24 and 65. For she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. See, she was a man of the Most High. She took a veil and covered herself. Another aspect to keep in mind is that, as was stated earlier, the Most High established a dress code for Israel to separate our look from that of the other nations. Therefore, he wants us regarding being clothed like the Gentiles in what he refers to as strange apparel. Zephaniah 1 and 8. The book of Zephaniah 1 and 8. And I believe it's going to give a judgment for being dressed in strange apparel. He's coming like a thief. You don't know when he's coming. But when he comes, he's going to bring forth what it says here. Zephaniah 1 and 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Most High's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. That's outside of our dress code. The next topic we're going to go into is being clean and unclean. Being clean and unclean. The Most High, as you will learn as you go further into your studies and in your quest for knowledge, is very partial to order. Within this realm of order, he puts a difference between that which he considers clean and that which he considers unclean. For example, Israel, his nation, to him is holy and clean. The Gentiles, who are without his laws and therefore are without order, to him are unclean. Although, as a whole, we as a nation are considered by the Most High to be clean or holy, there are circumstances within our everyday lives that will cause us as individuals to become unclean at different intervals in time. One example of the occurrence is when a woman is experiencing her menstrual flow. In this instance, the particular woman is considered by the Most High to be unclean, and she is to separate herself from the nation as best as she can. The scriptures state that everything she touches or sits upon becomes unclean to the Most High until the time of her separation has been fulfilled. 7 days. 7 days of purification. And after the things she has come into contact with, as well as her body, are cleansed in the manner in which he specifically directs. Leviticus 15, 19 through 23. Leviticus, the 15th chapter, verse 19 through 23. Leviticus 15th chapter, verse 19 to 23. Leviticus 15 and 19. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days. And whosoever touches her shall be unclean until the evening. So, a woman, she have her cycle, she's unclean for 7 days here. And everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. So wherever she lie, wherever she sit upon shall be unclean. And whosoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. That's when the sun go down, whenever it's dark. And whosoever touches anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening. And if it be on her bed, or on anything whereof she sitteth, when he touches it, he shall be unclean until the evening. Okay? Continuing. A woman also becomes unclean after childbirth, when she have a child. The Most High gives the woman a period of separation that is determined by the sex of the child. If a mother gives birth to a man-child, she is to separate herself for a period of 40 days. Giving birth to a female child requires a woman to separate herself for a period of 80 days, double the amount. Leviticus 12th chapter. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a woman have conceived seed, that's from a man's sperm, and born a man-child, then she shall be unclean 7 days. According to the days of the separation for her infirmity shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. You circumcise the male child on the 8th day. And she shall then continue in her blood, in the blood of her purifying 3 and 30 days, which will end up to be 40 days. From the 7 days and the 33 days, which equals 40 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary, until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. I mean, she couldn't come to the sanctuary until after her 40 days are fulfilled. But if she bear a maid child, which is of a female, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 14 days, as in her separation. See? Like I said, 14 days in a separation, just 14 days after your cycle starts. And she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days, which equals 80 days, if she have a female child. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest, who shall offer it before the Most High and make an atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the law for her that hath born a male or a female. And if she be not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtles, or 2 young pigeons, the one for the burnt offering and the other for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her, and she shall be clean. Okay? Continuing. Another instant wherein a woman becomes unclean is after she has had sexual intercourse with her husband. The Most High tells us that when a man's seed of copulation goes out from him, he is thus unclean. And the woman with whom he lay when his seed left him is also unclean, until they have undertaken the steps regarding their purification, which are stated specifically in Leviticus 15, 16 to 18. Leviticus 15, 16 to 18. Leviticus 15 and 16. And if any man's seed copulation, the sperm, go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the evening. You have sexual intercourse, you will be unclean until the next evening. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water and be unclean until the evening. The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation. She shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean until the evening. Okay? Let's continue. Although mistakes and accidents occur, it is unlawful for a man to lay with a woman when she is on her menstrual cycle. And the Most High gives instructions regarding what he expects in the event of an accident. Leviticus 15 and 24. Leviticus 15 and 24. And if a man lie with her at all, and her flowers, which is her cycle, her blood cycle, be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days. And all the bed whereon he lieth shall be unclean. So if a man lie with the woman that's on a cycle, hopefully by accident, then he's unclean for 7 days. That's the law. However, to partake in any sexual activity during any part of a woman's separation is a sin, whether it be from the separation of childbirth or a regular menstrual cycle, regardless of the presence of a running issue of blood. Leviticus 18 and 19. Leviticus 18 and 19. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness. As long as she's on a cycle, you're not supposed to be having sexual intercourse. Verse 29. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from among their people. Therefore shall you keep mine ordinance, that ye commit not any one of these abominable customs, which were committed before you, and that ye defile not yourselves therein. I am the Most High, your power. Thus say the Most High. In other words, it is unlawful for a husband to approach his wife, and vice versa, in a sexual manner, and uncover her nakedness during any portion of the time of her separation. Demeanor. A virtuous woman, demeanor. Within this patriotic society, it is pertinent that you internalize the order of things regarding your place as a woman in comparison to the place or position of the man. Understand that according to the Most High's order, the head of every man is a Mashiach H.O.I, and the head of every woman is the man. 1 Corinthians 11th chapter. Let's go there, 1 Corinthians 11th chapter. First Corinthians 11, and we'll start at verse 2. It says, Now I praise you, brethren, Israelite brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances. That's the order, as I delivered them to you. But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Mashiach is the Most High. Okay, so let's continue. In essence, a woman's status is in no way equal to that of a man with respect to leadership within the Most High's realm. As an Israelite woman, you have a responsibility to represent the Most High with dignity and respect, so that his name is not blasphemed. Ephesians 5 and 22. Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Most High. Your actions should never be such that you give others the opportunity to speak reproachfully of you. 1 Timothy 5:14. 1 Timothy 5:14. I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary, the enemy, to speak reproachfully. See? Continuing. The way you are perceived on the outside is contingent upon the discipline of your mind from the inside. And in order to conform your life to that which is pleasing to the Most High, it is necessary to change the way you think. The scriptures tell us that we will be transformed by the renewing of our minds. Romans 12:2. This is a woman bringing forth understanding to other women concerning a virtuous woman. Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. How you think is reflected in the things that you do, and what you are about is reflected by the way you carry yourself and how you handle situations as they occur. You are what you eat. Matthew 5:11. You are what you eat. Matthew 5:11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. So, if you eat from the bread of wisdom, walk in the ways of the Most High, and desire to be instructed by him, Wisdom of Solomon 6:11. Wisdom of Solomon 6:11. Wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Con. Righteousness will manifest itself in your every action, in all that you do. Keep in mind that there is a time and place for everything. Ecclesiastes 3:1-9. Ecclesiastes 3:1-9. Ecclesiastes 3. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, and a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. As it is written, everything there is a season. And that it is very important as you build your character to observe when it is appropriate to act or speak. This is for the single women. A single woman. Scriptures tell us that an unmarried woman is more apt to care for the things that please the Most High, wherein she has at her disposal the time and flexibility in which allow herself to concentrate on a high level the things concerning that which is holy in body and spirit. In the event that at this particular point in time you are not married, bear in mind that the Most High views you as a worthy tool for the purpose of carrying out his works. 1 Corinthians 7:34. 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, 31st verse. There's a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman cared for the things of the Most High, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married cared for the things of the world, how she may please her husband. The bottom line is, you are at a great advantage to have use of your talents in the areas wherein they are needed to help the men get the word to our people and in maintaining the church. This is not to make light of a fact that you have responsibilities. In fact, this is stated simply to advise you not to take for granted the time and opportunity presently available to you. Though there is no man at this time to provide a hedge for you, assuming your father has not yet found the Most High through this truth, in a spiritual sense, thy maker is thine husband. Isaiah 54:2. Isaiah 54:2. Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitation. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. Feel obliged only to turn to him in prayer when you are in need of guidance. Because you are without a man, know that it is a responsibility of the men of the congregation to help endow you with the things in which you are lacking concerning your spiritual growth. Making provisions for you by the able men of the congregation is just as significant to the Most High as the provisions made for the church in the giving of tithes. Deuteronomy 14:24. Deuteronomy 14:24. And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far for thee, which the Most High thy power shall choose to set his name there, when the Most High thy power hath blessed thee, verse 26, and thou shalt bestow thy money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatever thy soul desire, and thou shalt eat there before the Most High thy power, and thou shalt rejoice thou and thine household. Okay, I'm going by what's on this pamphlet. It says, do not lightly esteem the position of or situation wherein you were called. Ephesians 4. Ephesians the 4th chapter. Ephesians the 4th chapter. You can't take it lightly. Ephesians 4:1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Most High, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation for the job wherein ye are called, with all lowliness, humility, and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. One Most High, one faith, one baptism, one Most High and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Mashiach, which is the Holy Spirit. Let's continue. The Most High has a plan for us all. It is imperative as a single woman, or simply as a woman for that matter, that you take seriously the manner in which you carry yourself. Most High finds favor in a sister who is chaste and discreet. Titus 2, the 2nd chapter, verse 3 to 5. Titus 2, verse 3 to 5. The aged women, likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. If you should ever desire for the Most High to bless you with a husband, it is important before you make your vows to truly understand that it is lawful for a man to obtain more than one wife. However, never lose sight of or lose faith in the fact that only a righteous woman is given to him that fears the Most High. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 23 in the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a righteous woman is given to him that feareth the Most High. This is to the married woman. This is from a sister concerning a virtuous woman. This is to the married woman. The Most High gives us the understanding that a married woman is more apt to be swayed by the things of the world regarding how she might please her husband. 1 Corinthians 7 and 34, we read that. For the Spirit was placed on the woman from the days of Eve to long for, need, and aspire to please her husband. Genesis 3:16. This is the law. Once Eve believed Satan, the serpent, the devil, this is the judgment. Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. With that in mind, understand that it is possible for a married woman to tend to the business of the Most High without distraction. But first she must be aware of the spirits that exist in order to sway her thoughts toward a carnal focus. 1 Peter 5 and 8. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Be sober, Be vigilant, because your adversary, that's your enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Marriage is a bond that was meant to last. Understand that once a marriage is consummated, a woman is bound to her husband for as long as he lives. Romans 7, verse 2 and 3. Romans the 7th chapter. Romans 7 and 2. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. If he died, she can marry another man. Even in the event that there is a need to separate and distance yourselves when tribulation arises, 1 Corinthians 7 and 5. 1 Corinthians 7 and 5. Defraud ye not one the other, except to be with consent for a time. I mean, having sexual intercourse with each other. Except to be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer. You want to fast and pray, you're not supposed to have sexual intercourse. And come together again after the fasting and prayer, meaning having sex, having sexual intercourse with each other, that Satan tempt you not for your inconsistency. See? So, continuing, it says, your responsibility as a righteous wife is to be a help and a support medium to your husband in guiding his household and in his every righteous endeavor. The scriptures tell us that according to the order of the Most High, a married woman is to be in subjection to her husband. Ephesians 5:22 through 24. Ephesians 5 and 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Most High. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as H.O.I is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the whole of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto H.O.I, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. In everything, it says. As we read in the law, Genesis 3:16. As was stated earlier in this handout, the woman's status is lesser than that of a man's with respect to leadership. Thus, as was the case when you dwelled in your father's house, everything as a wife